So King Wai, you spoke to Lillian Tay. She's the president of Pertubuhan Akitek Malaysia, or PAM. Actually, she's the second woman to only do so in their long history, which I think is a great thing. But she talked to you about elevating the architectural profession. Now, whether you agree with me or not, I think architects are invisible and visible at the same time. On one hand, you don't really think about who designed your building, but on the other hand, they're everywhere. And she's designed like DG's headquarters. So when she spoke to you, what is her mission, as an architect? Because she mentioned bringing up their profile.
Yeah, I think her main focus, now that she's the president, I think she wants to bring the architects of Malaysia to an international level, to a level that is competitive in around the region or even internationally. And I think she believes that we have so much talent in Malaysia that we can travel. We can use our experience to build cities, because in Malaysia we have very big developments, townships, and huge buildings and everything. And so I think she wants to get the word out there that Malaysians can do international work. They can use their experience because they actually work from beginning to end. She told me a story of how there was one employee that she employed and how that person worked in the UK for many, many years. But when they interviewed this person, they found that this person was very specialized in one aspect of the process. Whereas Malaysian architects, they actually start from the beginning, like maybe they meet the client, they get the brief, they do the drawings and so on and so forth, and until completion. Whereas some architects don't actually get that full gamut of experience and exposure.
Right. So you either maybe just do the blueprints or like the opening.
You could just do the door panel.
Is that how specialized you can be?
You can. Yeah. So in Malaysia, because we have this vast experience from beginning to end, I think that puts Malaysian architects in very good stead for projects because they understand, they know what to expect, they can anticipate, and all that. So I think that's what she wants to do.
And it's more rounded in a way, right? Because you do actually go and meet people and you sort of talk to them, so you are not stuck behind sort of the paper barrier and all you do is just give your designs. But how does she say she wants to sort of do this? I mean, it's nice to say you want to do it, but how will she bring it up? Because now as Pam's head, does she have plans for that?
Yeah, well, some of the plans are, of course, engaging with the stakeholders, whether it's the government or whether with the members. It's also through committees that she's setting up that will deal with things like gender pay, sustainable development, and many other things.
I'm on board.
Yeah, so she's doing it in various ways, but getting other people as well to be involved, to get buy-in to it. So she can't do it by herself.
Yeah.
She can probably meet with the people, make connections, and try to get people to understand what she's trying to do. And I think this article sort of establishes roughly what she wants to do. Of course, the nitty-gritty on the ground, you have to let the people sort of figure it out.
Yeah.
But she's at least put that out there, and I guess hopefully it'll take root and it'll grow.
So what's the main thing then? I mean, okay, I mentioned when we started talking was how they're visible and invisible at the same time. But she wants to bring them out. She wants their names to be known, like the international guys. Why do you think it is important, especially in property, you've been covering it for so long, that we have a good sort of local architect? Is it expertise? Is it just how they deal with people? I mean, why is that important?
Well, I think local architects maybe, as she said, are undervalued simply because maybe people don't value their expertise very much.
Okay.
Maybe they think an overseas company may have better experience or design or ideas, but Malaysian architects have traveled. They study overseas, they have read all the books, they've seen things around the world. And if you follow some of the more prolific architects in Malaysia, their Instagram or their websites and all, you see they've gone all over the world.
What does she think is the biggest problem now, at least for being an architect in Malaysia?
I think the biggest one is the fact that there are very the 75% of practices, architecture practices out there are in the small, like very small sizes.
Right.
And she feels that, if there is companies that was much larger, they can take on larger projects. So that's one of the things she feels that needs maybe some change. I'm not saying that
Consolidation?
Could be maybe some smaller companies. Maybe there needs to be more collaborative work. Maybe there needs to be more talk or maybe mergers. I don't know. But I think what she's trying to say is that we don't want to just be a small practice all the time. And I think some larger, medium-sized to larger-sized companies that can take on different types of projects will be good for the whole industry.
For more on the stories, pick up a copy of The Edge Weekly at all good newsstands.